everyone, welcome to this week's Karma Cards. We just had, yesterday in fact, the full moon in Gemini, and it's the last full moon of 2022. We're actually going to end the year with a new moon on December 23rd. So it was a bigger energy. It was definitely interesting because it was actually centered really on Mars, because at the same time the moon went full, the moon eclipsed Mars in the night sky. And why that's important is Mars is closest to Earth right now, and so it's actually visible to the naked eye in the night sky. You'll see this kind of red looking star, which is actually Mars in the sky. And so it's very visible, and right when the moon went full, it was eclipsed by the moon. So there was a connection between the moon and Mars yesterday that was really highlighted. And with that, Mars is currently in a retrograde and will be until January 12th of next year. So when Mars is retrograde, all of our sense of action and power is internalized. And I was talking to people at the Spirit Circle last night about it, because this is a placement that can be frustrating for some people, some more than others. It just depends on how Mars affects you in your personal chart. And so just know that during this time period, it's going to feel a little frustrating if you want to take action and you want to see it externalize right now, because the eye of Mars is looking inwards into you. It's looking into yourself, and it's looking for the power dynamics and the impulsiveness that's inside of you, and how you're connecting to how you take action and how you feel your power. So it's more about sort of shining a light on where we feel powerless, how we use our power, where we give our power away, and how we restore power in ourselves and feel more aligned with how we're going to take action. So when it moves direct again, we have a clear idea of the way we want to use power as we move forward. But speaking about your personal chart, I wanted to do a little mini series on the Karma Cards, talking about hidden aspects inside your natal chart. I thought this would be really fun. And we're going to look at 3 different aspects of your natal chart. The 3, I would say, top important ones in your chart. We're going to be looking at the rising sign, which is how you sort of seem to other people, the personality that you have that the outside world sees, as well as your motivation for living. We're going to look at your sun sign, which it more closely relates to how you identify yourself, as well as the areas you naturally shine in. And we're going to look at your moon sign, which relates to your body and your emotional state. So if you already have a copy of your natal chart, it'll be super helpful to have it out over these next few karma cards, because you'll be able to immediately identify what I'm talking about inside your own chart and get the answers. But if you don't worry. Let me share with you some great resources that create free natal charts where you can go plug in your information and instantly get access to your natal chart. So one of the sites I really love to work with is cafeastrology.com, and you can find access to your natal chart there and get a very comprehensive report. I really like the reports that you get, and hopefully on the screen right now you can see me searching that site for you so you can see what it looks like. Sometimes they move around the links of where to get that natal chart, so you can look in the search bar and see if you can find it there. Sometimes all it takes is a little poking around and you'll find it. But that's a great resource. Another great resource that allows you to get instant access to your free natal chart is astro.com. And on the screen now you should be seeing that site. Again, it allows you to pull up your natal chart, but it gives you access to so many other charts as well on the site, which was really helpful when I was working with people around their progressed signs and progressed moons. So 2 great resources, both have access to your natal chart information. Cafe Astrology, I feel like, gives good explanations, and astro.com gives you a lot of choices when pulling chart information. So today I wanted to focus on a hidden aspect inside of your sun sign. And the hidden aspect we're going to look for is how to increase your vitality naturally using the secret inside your sun sign. So as you know, vital energy is something that you need just to be alive, really. And we receive it all the time, especially through the earth. We receive it through the electromagnetic field of the earth and through our root chakra connecting to the field of the earth. So we're pulling in vital energy all the time, but we're not always getting the same quality of vital energy. And you'll already know this, right? We've all had days where we feel really up, excited, raring to go, revitalized and refreshed and ready to tackle on the world. And then there are other days where we feel like it's really hard just to get out of bed and show up for the basic things in life. And what's interesting is if you see yourself having a streak of sort of lower energy, there is a way that you can connect in with your soul purpose, with how you shine, to increase and open the flow of vital energy. And the secret lies with, where does your sun sign lie in the houses of astrology? So what house is your sun sign in? So you can pause the video right here, pull up your natal chart, take a look, and find out which house is your sun sign sitting in your natal chart. Go ahead and look and come right back. All right, good to have you back. So, based on where your sun sign sits in the houses of astrology, you're going to get a quick guide on how to increase vital energy right now. So if your sun sits in the first house, this is the house of self. And to increase vital energy is to really focus on what creates a sense of leadership, independence, and self-sufficiency. So as a sun in the first house, what can you do right now to help acknowledge that sense of leadership in yourself, to create a feeling of independence and self-sufficiency? And in this case, there's a lot of small acts that you can do that would really increase that vital energy, that give you that rush of feeling like, I can do this. If your sun is sitting in the second house, this is the house of worth. So activities that help you feel a sense of self-worth and validate your worth are going to increase your vital energy, as well as any activities that help you make money, because it's also connected to making money and having money. So by doing activities that increase this, you're going to feel an increase in vital energy. You probably already feel that when the money's coming in, you're feeling really good. So these are activities that will help you increase your vital energy instantly. If your sun sign is in the third house, this is the house of communication. So really anything to do, reading, writing, studying, chatting with others, some way that you're expressing yourself, this is naturally going to increase your vital energy instantly. If your sun sign is sitting in the fourth house, this is the house of home and personal self, so inner world. So anything that you're doing that's nurturing your inner world or your immediate environment is going to raise your level of vitality, whether it's doing something that creates decor or a feeling of warmth in the home, or where it's personal introspection and you're learning more about yourself. These are instant ways for you to get a boost of vital energy. If your sun is sitting in the fifth house, I call this the fun house. It's the house of creativity and play. There's a lot about allowing yourself to enjoy and experience pleasure, and childlike wonder, and just the joy of what you can do and make. So anytime you're focusing on what brings you pleasure or what feels like fun or creative energy, you're naturally going to get an instant boost of vitality. If your sun is sitting in the sixth house, you naturally get a boost of vital energy from work. So having work that feels productive and meaningful to you is instantly going to give you a boost. So it can be work that you do as your job, which will naturally increase or give you a boost, or it can be any work that you're doing that feels meaningful and productive, whether it's taking care of your home, taking care of yourself, or taking care of others, gives you a natural vital energy boost. If your sun is sitting in the 7th house, this is the house of partnership, and so your natural vitality increases when you're in relationship to one another. So when you're feeling that give-take of a relationship or communication or working with a partner in any different way, there's so many ways we can have relationship and partnership, but this is the area that's going to boost your vitality the most, is when you're in relation to someone else. If your sun is sitting in the 8th house, this takes partnership to a more intimate level. So your intimate relationships with whatever you are sharing with someone intimately is what you're going to get a boost from. Whether it's working on a family budget together, having intimate time together, working through an important close issue to you with someone who is also very close. These are the things that are going to give you an instant boost of energy. If your sun is sitting in the 9th house, this is the house of mental expansion. And so anything that helps you feel as though your mind is expanding is naturally going to give you a vital energy boost. Whether it's traveling to somewhere new or learning about new topics or going deeper into spiritual topics, any way that you feel like you're expanding your awareness and knowledge is going to instantly boost your vital energy. If your sun is sitting in the 10th house, this is the house of career and the mark we leave on the world. So it has to do with what we give back to the world. So if you sit down and you focus on a goal, on the plan of how to achieve that goal, even just sitting and doing that work naturally gives you a vital energy boost. And of course, when you achieve that goal, you get a super surge of vital energy. If your sun sits in the 11th house, this is the house of wishes and friendship. And so you naturally get a vital energy boost from being around friends, but also being around groups of like-minded people sharing a singular vision. And you tend to naturally emerge as a leader in these situations, even when you have no intention of leading. It's just because you get such a big boost of vital energy that you're literally glowing and people are attracted to that glow. And if your sun is sitting in the 12th house, this is the house of the subconscious mind. So you get a vital energy boost from being alone and going deeper into understanding your subconscious self, your motivations, and your dreams. So it's a very mystical space to be in, but that alone solitude energy gives you a beautiful vital energy boost. All right, what did you think of that? Did that resonate for you? Did you figure out which house your sun sign is in? And when you heard the prompt, did that resonate as true for you? I know it did for me. If you like this, comment, share, subscribe, and let me know your thoughts. Are you feeling your house of astrology for your sun sign? And give it a try and let me know how it works, getting yourself that vital energy boost. And with that, let's do some karma cards. If you're new to karma cards, let me quickly show you how these work. I have 3 decks here: planets, signs of the zodiac, and the houses of astrology. And I've already asked my team, what is the message you have for us this week? And I've got 2 sets of answers, a set in red, which are action related, and a set in blue, which are outcome related. And the way that you play is you tune into that beautiful intuition of yours and decide, what do you need this week? Are you looking for action-related guidance, or are you really interested to see how things turn out over the week? And of course, you can always choose both. And while you're deciding, let me tell you the timing for this reading. This reading is for December 8th through December 15th. And the flavor of this reading, we've got Jupiter, like one of the very best cards you can get planet-wise. So this is about expansion, it's about optimism and abundance in the sign of Aquarius. So we've got more expansion. This is the forward thinker of the zodiac. This is the one with the future vision and humanitarian aspects. In the 10th house, which is the house of career and it's public standing, also what you give out to the world. So for those who are choosing action, your spiritual action at this time is to learn or teach your vision responsibly. I feel like we've been getting card reading after card reading where they're talking to us about our vision, holding this vision. So as I focus on it, it's again, we're still being asked to hold our vision, to get clarity around our vision, and to refine it. That was something that actually came up last night with the full moon, was talking about learning how to refine our vision. It's not quite ready until we've got it like locked in mentally, and we understand the details. Then it's ready to actually be processed by our subconscious mind and start forming as a manifestation. So that's one of the parts that we have to do. And the responsibly part, I think, is recognizing that everyone's holding a unique vision. So what you see as the vision of your life or the future, it's really still yours to hold. And as good as it feels to have people agree with you, yet that would be great. It's really not a group manifestation at this time. It's still very individual as we move forward. Mental action at this time. Be positive about what's new and different about success. Yeah, so as we're shifting major paradigms, our perceptions of how to move forward are shifting as well. And just talking to different clients and other spiritual teachers about this, we're all having to kind of grapple with that things aren't, the plans we made in 3D are not necessarily the plans we make in 4D, which takes some getting used to, because it means we have to let go of some perceptions of what success was to actually feel success now. And during a major transformation like we're going through, where the key word is adaptation. So we're not settled yet in this transition. We're not at the end of a transitionary period. We're in the middle of the transition, maybe middle to end, hopefully, but still the middle. So it means things are unsettled. It means you can't just say, okay, this is what it is now, and that's how I move forward. Because as soon as you do that, it's like the page turns again, and now we're on a new page, and it's like, okay, now I have to adapt to this new information. You see, so it's difficult at this time to track success, not because you're not successful, but because you don't feel solid in it. It's transforming on you all the time. And so we're being asked to be okay, not only be okay with it, be excited about it, that there is no set pattern to work with yet. It's still in its formation. And so, yeah, it's asking us to move out of the fear around what's this going to look like and into the excitement of every day I get to see it from a new angle, and every day I get more clarity on what my ultimate success looks like. And I allow myself to adapt and let go of the visions that aren't fitting anymore. That can be hard when you have your heart set on something. This is why we've also been getting an influx of information about let go of your human will and adapt your higher will into your vision. And so if that sounds exciting to you, then you'll probably move right into it. If you're really holding on to your own human plans, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, because, and I get that. I feel like I'm kind of there with you. I kind of go back and forth between I'm okay with this to no, I have a good plan. I like my plan. Yeah, so it's again, you have to, I feel like as you form a deeper relationship with your higher self, when you really start to create an intimate understanding and knowing and feeling of your higher self, then it gets easier to trust that version of yourself that has really got what's best for you in mind, and not just these sort of detached, cold, spiritual views of what's best for you might be to receive a bunch of catalysts so you grow. Certainly there's some of that, but also try to see the intimate level where there's a warmth and a connection and a desire to give you the best life possible. And I feel like if you can tap into that, it gets easier to trust and allow the bigger vision to take over. Physical action at this time. Grow and expand, use an unconventional way, and become a person of power and status. It's kind of summing up everything that we just said, right? Grow and expand. So allow yourself to adapt. Use the unconventional way, which is that every day it might shift on you, right? Your plans aren't set in stone right now. So every day you're going to have to sort of like readjust to the energetic climate that's coming in. And by doing that, you do reach success. You do reach the power and status, and not necessarily the power and status we would associate with a 3D, but a different kind of power and status, right? The power of self-sovereignty and the status of a higher viewpoint, because you're adopting and connecting to your bigger vision, the higher self vision. Right, now let's look at the outcomes for Jupiter in Aquarius in the 10th house of career and public standing. The spiritual outcome at this time is the granting of genius to experiment with your destiny. I like it. It's really good. The granting of genius. That means more than what you can see now. You're going to be granted that bigger vision, that people in the world we refer to as geniuses. It's not because they're super intelligent, it's because their vision is so expanded. They're seeing more than what everyone else can see in that moment. And that's going to be granted to you as well, to experiment with your destiny. Now, when we talk about destiny, it's not the same thing as fate. Fate has this sort of writ in stone kind of association with it, whereas destiny is who you're meant to become. So you're going to be granted genius to experiment with who you're meant to become. And I think that really does come from allowing that higher will to come through. You're finally going to see more of your potential than maybe you've ever seen before, which is a really exciting time, I think. Mental outcome, blessings from the discoveries of where you're going. Again, they keep showing me that page turning in the book, right? It's like you're about to discover what going deeper into fourth density or higher into fourth density or moving towards fifth density really starts to look like. And we're going to probably see it at the personal level first, because I feel like that's where all revolution happens, all change, all revelation happens too, is at that personal awareness level. So you're going to see it in yourself before you start to see that in the world. And that's truly is a blessing, right? Because if you can see it in yourself, you can hold that. No matter what the world's doing, you can hold that. And as you hold that, it's like putting a stake in the ground. It's like you've started creating more of that energy in the physical world by simply being able to have awareness of it and hold it within you. Physical outcome at this time. Good fortune resulting from the eccentricity of your career. All right. So if the word career isn't resonating for you, you can change it to what I give back to the world. So I'll say it that way too. Good fortune resulting from the eccentricity of what you put out in the world. Eccentricity is interesting because I feel like eccentricity is sort of a word in this context that would be used by sort of the everyday average person looking at you. They might see you as eccentric, when really another way to say that is visionary, forward thinking, or genius, right? So it's not necessarily that you're doing something odd, but when someone is so forward thinking, they appear odd to those who are sort of doing the everyday, right? So it's beyond the everyday, it's outside of your everyday. So good fortune resulting from the things that you do outside of the everyday, right? That connect to what you put out in the world or your career, however that resonates for you. So again, it's this thinking outside the box. And in order to do that, you have to lift yourself up from your daily life, out of your routine, out of what you expect, and try to take the big picture view. So the visionary they have what's called the cutting edge view, right? They're not just in the big picture, but they're at the very forefront of creation. And they're like, oh my God, this is coming next, right? Like they can see that. That's where it's asking you to go right now. So Jupiter being about expansion in every way, Aquarius being about the higher mind, and the 10th house being about the impact you have on this world. It's a beautiful way to be thinking towards the end of this year as you're getting ready to move into 2023. And it is a great time, it's a great energy this week to focus on your goals and see if you can go bigger than you currently have gone, right? Because again, success isn't something that's going to be locked in right now. It's an adapting moment. It's just a turning page. It's like a new page every day. So even with the goals you have written, try to see like, how would I adapt this? If, we're going to be asked to be in that adapting space. It's not going to be an all or nothing black and white, you win or you lose. It's going to be success through adaptation and expansion. So with that, I'm sending you so much love. I hope you get a boost of vital energy from today's karma cards, and I hope this message excites you as well as inspires you. Mwah.